It was just due to a wording in our.
Excuse me, we're calling this meeting to order. We've got about, 3 hours of business we need to discuss. On this first page that I just passed out to you, you'll see that, F is circle. All employees, except for law enforcement and the correctional department, are on 40-hour work weeks. Anything over 40 hours is compensated at time and a half. But if you read down there, you'll see that they got a normal work week for law enforcement, including jailers and ambulance personnel, shall be no more than 171 hours in a 28 consecutive day work period. Well, that causes the finance department to have to go back and look at 2 payrolls every time to make sure that they're within that 171 hours. What we would like to do is change that to 86 hours in a 28-day or a 14-day work period. And we'll put it on the same work period as everyone else. We would need a resolution to change the book to reflect that. And it would be something that would go to full court to be voted on. It's mainly for the convenience of finance, so they don't have to look at 2 work periods. It makes it easier. It's all on one time sheet.
I'll make a motion that we set the new schedule for the sheriff and juvenile, right, to a 28-day work period at 86 hours?
So 14-day work.
14 days. Oh, 14 days.
86 hours.
At 86 hours. Well, that's making them work.
Well, they don't fall under the same thing as everyone else now, like the kitchen staff, the dispatchers, still don't fall under the 40-hour work week. Have a motion on the floor. We have a second. Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that was to fix the part of our personnel book. The next thing on our agenda was the increase. There's been an increase in mileage. And someone asked if we need to discuss that. Basically, it says that we will go by the state guideline. The state went to, what is it?
56 cents.
A mile? What was it before?
42.
So they went up and down a mile. We don't have to do anything to change that because it's already in our book. I just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention so that we knew what was going on. Any questions on that? And you have a letter that's attached telling you that they increased it. And if I read the letter, I wouldn't know this. But it's just easy to ask Kelly. Okay. The first thing we have, and this is going to be a discussion, I'm not trying to make a decision for anybody, but in checking the state law on this, it's in the code book 1414.
1414, 1308.
If a quorum court member does not attend meetings for 3 consecutive months without excuses, it gives you an opportunity for illness, a family illness, or something else.
Criminal. I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry. Go over excuses. Illness, family illness, and I think it's a catch-all. Anything else can be justifiable by the
Okay. If you call in and you have an excuse, I accept it, that no one voids it. Doing some checking, Eric's been called about some meetings and left a message, please call us back, as he returned the call. This means that technically his office is vacant. We have to declare a vacancy, and then we go to full form court, they would vote on it, and then it would go to the judge to notify the governor of the vacancy, and then they would have to fill the vacancy. I'm not the one making this decision, I just brought it to y'all to look at it and see what you thought. I am going to say this, my concern is, this is not fair to the people in District 1. They don't have a voice in this body. When they were hit by the tornado, I know I showed up and Justice Harmon was over there, and I understand that several others went up. But their own person did not come out. And he didn't contact the judge to ask for him to talk. So that's my big concern. Second concern is, a lot of times you show up, we have a quorum, when, others have to be like, there are legitimate reasons to miss a meeting. You can be sick, you can have a child be sick, you can have a parent who's sick, you can be out of town on vacation, but you notify the court and tell them, hey, I'm gonna miss. Crickets is all I'm gonna say. Now, I'm open for discussion. What do y'all think?
I'm with you.
Has anyone contacted him and left him a message specifically stating that we don't know whether or not he needs to be replaced on the court?
I haven't,
The statute provides that.
How about the judge?
If this would be like, y'all agree, it's like, yeah, we called him to boot him, but he has to be notified prior to the next meeting, so he has a chance to appeal it.
Okay, there is some, okay,
I forgot about that.
okay, so he has an appeal process if for some reason.
Right. We have to send, we have to publish it.
We have to give him adequate notice and do public notice prior to the full court meeting. And then, let's say that goes south for him, he has a 30-day window to appeal to circuit court.
Cause there could be something that we just are not aware of that's caused him to be, I'm just airing, giving the benefit of the doubt.
And that's why I brought it to you guys, because here's the thing, all he has to do is answer the phone or call us. But he hasn't done that. Maybe we need to do the show sometime. Show up.
I don't know how long, because months go by, but I thought there was that one time he was gonna come, he was on his way to a quorum meeting, and then he didn't, something happened with that.
Last year, there was a
That's what I was
bridge,
gonna say,
because
was that like, it could be
Michael had that same-
December or something like that.
And
No,
there
that was
was,
back before December.
and I do know that
I know months go by so quick too.
I do know that his dad had some sort of surgery, heart surgery. So I do know, and again, I know,
That's
days turn into months and months turn into, so I don't really remember exactly when that was. But I do think he is, I don't know, I think he's returned to his normal, Aaron has returned to his job though, so. But I don't know that for sure, I've not spoken with him.
Has the judge spoken with him? I mean, I know he's not here, I was gonna ask him.
Well, the judge was when you pointed out to me that he, technically, if we have a disaster in my district, I should be able to contact the judge's office to request assistance, and then probably an emergency committee meeting should be called in case there's things that we need to do to help your district.
Okay.
My understanding is he didn't even answer calls when that happened, back on December 10th.
So, as far as this last week and all this that's going on right here, the judge's office felt like didn't need to be in the middle of this. This is a quorum court thing, so we have not talked to him recently about this. And then as far as during the disaster time, there were people that were contacting us because they could not go through their JP.
Well,
I do agree with Tom in the statement that I don't know that this is, this is a quorum court issue, not a judge issue. But, so, since you're in charge of personnel. This is a.
Here's my thing. If we vote to do the resolution and we notify him that, we have done this, it gives him an opportunity to come to the next meeting and appeal that. And if we decide to rescind it, we can rescind it. But if he doesn't even bother to show up after he's notified, then we've got an issue.
So you're just talking about moving it from, between the time it goes from committee to full court, he would have that time frame to show up
He'd be
at full court.
notified, and he would have time to show up. And if there's been a reason, he could give those reasons.
Right. I do know that the state follows, something very similar to this guideline, and just the couple of commissions that I've sat on, they do strictly enforce it. I mean, they take it seriously because you have made a commitment, and he made a commitment to the people, to the citizens. So therefore, I think it's important for us as a group to make sure that we, that we follow those guidelines as well.
We have had,
They do have one.
we have had 8 people who were out with illness, and that's understandable.
That's right.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm probably gonna be out for a couple of months. I'm fixing to have to have some surgery done. But I will notify the court that I'm not gonna be there.
Well, you'll answer your phone if someone has questions
Yes.
for you too.
Unless I'm asleep,
Right.
I'll pick up that phone.
You know what? We're moving in here.
You can respond to, you'll still respond to email and respond to phone. That's different than being completely MIA and having no communication whatsoever.
And that's all I'm trying to say. And I'm gonna let, our attorney, because I've asked him about this. Tell me what you told me about the vacant court. When you and I talked about it, I said, we looked at this resolution, and you stated to me that it was already vacant.
Yeah, so the condition exists, so all we have to do is verify that this condition does exist. He's been absent for 3 consecutive months, and left his job without any justifiable excuse. And from that point, we would vote on the resolution for court meeting, he would have notice of it on the front end, and then if it would pass, he would get 30 days from the publication of that resolution to appeal. It's not really much to do with a judgment call on the merits or anything. It's like the condition exists. All we have to decide is, did he have a good reason for it? And we don't really know because we haven't talked to him.
And it's the quorum court's responsibility to declare a vacancy, correct?
Yes. Even if, and we won't even use quorum court, if the judge, something were to happen, and he retired or could not fulfill his duties, we the ones who declares a vacancy. We did it with, Cynthia.
Well, we did it with constable too.
Yes. It's our responsibility to declare the vacancy, and then the judge's responsibility to notify the governor.
Well, we did it with Judge Carnegie too.
Yes, sir. So this is not something that's out of the ordinary. I guess the difference is that I don't know that we ever had to do it with a court member.
Well, I think it's very important, when you decide to take on this position, that you be here and you represent your area. I mean, that was, I know when I was out last year for a couple months, I'd let you guys know in advance, and I was even on the meetings if I'm not here personally, but I watched them online, and if I had to call, I was on the phone. So it's important to, it's his responsibility or his duty as a quorum court member to follow up with us, and him not responding to anybody's phone calls or anything. That's just saying he's MIA for sure.
And he did not file for re-election.
No,
No,
and I'll go so far as to say this, last year, we get paid on a per diem basis, our pay is set at a maximum. I was out with money in June or July. If anybody knows me, this is more meetings than I had prior to. It's still our responsibility to show up, even if after we have run out of funds.
Oh, yeah, I think we all did, I mean, we were, even
Everybody
now,
did.
everybody comes to these committee meetings, I mean, our committee meetings are always, well, it's not just the committee members that show up, I mean, it's, everybody else is doing their due diligence, I mean, they don't have to, they're not on the committee, but they do, and it just,
Sometimes your best questions come from people who are not on the committee.
so. Definitely needs to be here representing the citizens in this district.
So, what is your desire of this committee?
Before you do that, I think it's very important that you do participate, and since you've taken that oath, that you follow to do the best of your ability to serve the people that you elected to. Case in point, this insurance situation. You know, how long we have been dealing with that, we're still dealing with, but we finally got some movement. And I think that that is one of the most important, committee situations that we're in, as far as not having somebody to chair that. And you don't have to be the best chair, but, you know, just to have a leadership and not to let our folks, you know, because they're our folks, we just don't leave them out there like that. So, and that's my, you know, like everybody said, if I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let somebody know, I'll get on the computer and watch it on Zoom, or it's just too many. And as far as for contacting him, can we send him a certified letter or something to say, hey, you know,
I think that would probably be our better bet.
send a certified letter.
I was about to ask if y'all want to give him the option to resign of his own volition as opposed to like getting publicly ousted.
Well, that was another reason why I was kind of fishing to see if somebody had called him, because
With his letter first.
Yeah,
I do a certified mail and just let him know what's going on.
yeah, I mean, if he wants to come, I just want you
we should
here,
have already done that.
some particular way to participate, because it's too much going on. For, if you got all that other stuff going on, just let us know, you know, we'll rally around you just like we rally around other people.
I mean, that would be a justifiable excuse for absence. I mean, it's just a matter of just call me. I can probably get something drafted tonight. I probably won't get sent out and certified for tomorrow. But
I do know the state got one if we don't do our job. 3 times you out.
Yeah.
when y'all want to meet with them,
Hey, I can't.
what's in those committee
We don't have a date set. Where,
And he's
would
been
you
here
reckon
since
we give them a certain period of time?
I'll say special setting next Friday.
Is it
I didn't
a
hear.
week from Friday?
Yeah.
Would a week from Friday work for everyone, we will meet back here to see if he has given an answer at some time? And we can proceed from
Next
there.
Friday?
Yes, this
I'll
Friday.
say a week from the green card for back, and I'll say this would be contact.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So basically, we would be looking
So we
at
don't have to
the
declare
8th
that.
the 8th of April.
Tentatively.
I got his address.
Or maybe we can add it out.
Yes.
I'll go to his.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the certified letter would be great.
I said, I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything, but we've got to do something. You know, I would appreciate if somebody get my attention, that's not so, but that's something.
Or just reach out and see if there's something wrong, you know, I mean.
Well, and this will give him an opportunity. He can show up at that meeting and we can discuss it.
Alright, so what meeting did we just?
We're looking at
A week from.
April the 8th.
What,
This Friday.
I think we talked over you. I think we're gonna do a week from whenever I get the green card back, so.
Alright, so you will call me, you know. And let me tell you how certified mail works.
You gotta contact her so she can do the one call,
Or
or she notifies the court.
7 days, attempt to deliver, like 7 days.
Well, can't we do a hand delivery, or that would be faster if we got somebody to serve him, how about?
No, certified mail doesn't, it'll go back to the post office, they're not gonna try to deliver it that many times. They won't try to deliver it.
All the time.
So do I, I'm telling you, they're not gonna try to multi-deliver certified mail.
Well, cause they're talking about the certified mail and they figured how long it's gonna take. So I'm just saying, well, if somebody served it, wouldn't that be quicker, because you're saying certified mail is gonna take a lot longer? So if we, somebody,
Kelly Thomas is the process server.
you know, if somebody, would that be quicker than the certified mail? More expensive, but.
I usually do things via email and then certified or registered, so that way I can go send to an email, kind of errands, and then have to bring a card, so I would expect it. That
You
way,
may respond to the email.
If you put in the subject, you word that subject line just right.
I'll put it on.
Alright, we'll leave it up to you to get notified.
Vacant seat for
Yes.
District 1.
We'll set a meeting.
Vacant seat, District 1.
I would imagine if it wants to conclude, it wants to do the job, or if he'll say I'll just formally resign, but he wants to resign. Maybe he's watching this.
I'll say you send paperwork with him to resign.
Alright, those are the three things I had on the agenda today. Is there any other business that needs to come before? So do you have anything else we need to talk about?
So we can make a motion to have that.
No.
Right, we don't need to, or do we, how do we?
No, I don't think we'll need a motion to do that. Just we'll authorize them to send it. Then any motion would come after our next meeting.
Do we set a next meeting? I know you
No,
okay.
he's going to send a notification, he'll let me know, and then we'll set a meeting. If he resigns, we still have to make and declare the vacancy. So, if he decides to come back, then we'll let him come in and give us a reason why and how he intends to improve upon it. Any other business? And we stand adjourned.